is episode 65 for Noodle Time. Welcome back. Here with me is Mr. October himself, OSG. How's it going, sir?
What's up, brother? Man, what a friggin' weekend and a week. Starting with the Dynamo on Wednesday, the Dynamo on Saturday. I had UT Oklahoma on Saturday morning, and then Sunday morning was just, Jesus Christ, a busy Man City Arsenal, the Texans, and then the Dash. So it's kind of a rough weekend. And then the drive home after the Dash game. So it was just a rough weekend, man. But there was a lot going on, that's for damn sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna save the Dash talk to the end because I barely slept. Especially just just trying to think about not thinking about the game itself, on our way back home and just trying to sleep until the next day. It was horrible, but I'll get into that towards the end. But yeah, Dynamo had a pretty good week, to say the least, and we'll get into that as well. But also, of course, the Astros just started the playoff campaign. They're currently 1-1, and game two. Not much to talk about other than that Hector Herrera threw the ceremonial first pitch, which he should have probably just started over Framber Valdez, honestly, because it was horrible. But
who did he throw it to?
Brian Ching.
There you go. You make sure you mention those two names together.
Yeah, but yeah, just a lot going on in the Houston sports world. We're just blessed, honestly. I mean, you can make the case with the Astros, obviously, but Dynamo out clinching playoffs for the first time in 6 years. Man, it's probably a good way to start the show, really, because they were able to clinch playoffs thanks to the draw in Montreal and also LAFC beating Minnesota back on Wednesday. And obviously that was before the game against Colorado. And honestly, just seeing this team succeed the way they have been this all year long, coming off the Open Cup victory, it's kind of like a dream come true for me, because we've earned this much success in Ben Olsen's first year. For me, it's insane to think about. And obviously the credit also goes to the coaching staff and the players themselves. And I'm saying that because the turnaround has been insane. I don't know how else to put it, because the players have been there. They believe in the projects. They believe in Ben Olsen, and it's just starting to click now. It's since the start of the year, it's always been about patience. And obviously fans were skeptical at first because how the past went by, but at the end of the day, we've been saying it all year long. It's all about patience and trusting the process. And this is where we are right now. We've clinched playoffs for the first time in 6 years. We won the Open Cup for the first time since 2018. 2 cups now. And it's just crazy to think about, honestly.
It's good times in Hustletown, bro. It's good times in Hustletown. It's everybody's excited about it, and we're having some friggin' fun, man. We're having some friggin' fun with it, and so which makes it even funner to do the friggin' episodes and talk about it all, So, boom, I'm ready. Let's get into some Dynamo news and then some Dash news.
Yeah, yeah. So as always, we're gonna do it in chronological order. We did review the Montreal game first during the last week, and we're gonna do another review for Colorado and the Angel City games. But first, here's gonna be the Montreal review. Hey guys, so we just came off the Montreal versus Dynamo game. 1-1 draw that felt like a loss because it was a lost opportunity. And as everyone knew at this point, Houston would have clinched a playoff spot automatically with a win. But because of the draw, now we have to wait for results or wait until the weekend. And I was pretty disappointed. It's just underselling it, because I'm pretty angry right now, because it was their opportunity to seal the win, and what it feels like traditional fashion, which hasn't been seen often this year with Ben Olsen. They concede a goal in stoppage time in the second half. And to an extent, they're playing extremely well in the first half. The second half is a different story. They had that, like, given that they had like other opportunities to get a second or third goal, they pretty much let the game go away from their hands, and Montreal just kept getting their chances in, and they just got lucky, like in the 95th minute. So,
Man,
extremely upset. I'm gonna give the floor to OSG so he can vent first, and we'll continue because I'm
and
not happy.
yeah, then you need to vent or that like being an away game. There's sometimes you're in the chat, sometimes you're not. But like it was 10 minutes left, and I was like, "Here goes a stressful 10 minutes, a stressful 10 minutes." And they added 6 minutes of extra time. And Montreal played better tonight. We expected this on the road and with the big rotation. Um, most of the bench getting to play, which we're fine with, and we want rotation. We expect rotation, and we're not complaining about the lineup. Archer, Caicedo, and Coco in the middle. No one's ever going to complain about those three starting, especially when Achiachi's not available. Quinones, Liu, and Seba up top. I mean, you're not going to really complain. Everybody's going to complain about Liu, of course, because Liu just cannot finish for the life of his life, bro. Like his life of his soul, he cannot finish for anything, and he's yet to figure it out. So I guarantee you, during the summer or during the winter, he's going to be shoot, 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 shoot. Stairs was probably my only question starting at left back. He was just getting beat up and down that line over there with that guy had just too much speed, and Stairs was just getting beat up. And Teenage and Bartlow in the middle, which I'm fine with. Bartlow, the lesser of the four center backs that could start, and then Dorsey on the right. I don't know. At some point right there, I think I would have switched Dorsey with Stairs and put Stairs on the right and let Dorsey play on the left. Dorsey can cut in and hit that right footed. He can cross with his left because he's hitting bangers with his left. So it might have been easier. That guy still might have had some a little more speed on Dorsey too at the same time, and Dorsey probably playing too far up. So ended up didn't hurt us too bad, but they were getting a lot of opportunities, man. A lot of opportunities, a lot of good opportunities too. Just like Jesus Christ, and they just weren't hitting the target. Wasn't really forcing like a huge save or anything like that from Steve. But we kicking the ball out. Had some opportunities for us on our side, dude. Like, come on, man. Just finish some of those. The hesitation, Quinones hesitated once. Aliyu hesitated another time. Bossy didn't take a shot and pass it to Coco. It got deflected out. There was another one. Coco was dribbling down the field, all the defenders to his right, nothing but space to his left, and he decided to try to pass it left, and it got blocked out. Instead of just turning left and just hold on possession, you ain't got to keep advancing. If you got nowhere to go, just hold on to possession, let the attack catch back up. So it's just crazy, bro, how we're such a different team on the road than we are at home. It's just so crazy. Granted, there's a lot of rotation in the end. The starting 11 looks a lot better when it's the starting 11 and not subs pushed in there. But golly, bro, so frustrating, especially 2 weeks in a row or 2 games in a row. Opportunity to clinch, and we come out with a tie. So I guess technically now all we need is 1 point in the final 2 games, which is not easy at all. But with other options, like you said, one of those being Dallas and the other one being Minnesota, with they playing later tonight as we're recording on Wednesday night. They're still got to play their game. Dallas in a rain delay, and then Minnesota's at LAFC playing late game. So we're not going to know what happened as we recorded this episode. But you still have 2 more games, which all we need is 1 point. And then there'll still be other stipulations every week. So like Dynamo could lose next week, and then this happens, and then we clinch because of that happens. So the chances of us making the playoffs are still very high, but this is not, I don't want to walk in backwards into the playoffs. We have an opportunity to be a home team host as well. So obviously that'd be way better. Look at the way we play on the friggin' road. Unless it's an Open Cup game. Open Cup game we can win on the road. MLS game
Yep.
we can't win on the friggin' road. So it's just frustrating. Just the little things here and there. I don't have a problem with any of the subs tonight at all. Maybe the Quinones from Franco could have came a little earlier. The stairs for Escobar could have came a little earlier as well, but otherwise, as far as what subs he made for who he made, I'm no issues there in the long run. But bro, like I know you're sitting there. Well, it doesn't look like it. Your hair looks pretty good right now. Like I was saying, you probably were pulling your hair during the game, bro. I mean, ah,
Honestly, like I took a shower, but pretty much like 2/3 of the second half, it was just me like trying to cover my face with my anger because they were just they like Houston just kept inviting Montreal back into it, like to tie the score. Like given that Houston had their chances to like put the game away, they just kept like letting them take it because of the or not just like the really messed up passes, but also just the fouls to set up those awkward situations and just really letting them do whatever they wanted to do. And like it in some parts of the second half, they like at one point like it seemed like they were Houston was trying to like get back into like possession or really just try to ice Montreal. But in the end, like it didn't really work. Like because like especially with like the fouls because they got extremely careless at one point, and you can argue about the referees or like some of the missed calls, but at the same time, you're still creating that situation, and like you have to assert your dominance in that specific way. And given it could be like physical, you're trying to demoralize the opponent, but at the same time, like it's the the other game flow like get away with their hands still. Like it's just disappointing. The two extra points were there. They were gonna clinch playoffs. Like I can definitely see them like have obviously they knew about it, but like and they were only like 2 minutes away. I was just so disappointed because they were right there and they just like that foul to like dial it up to that sequence or like just a corner kick for the tying goal. Like it was just really disappointing for me, and and it was like a different story from the first half because there were like those issues in the first half still, but not as frequent as the second half, and it was just disappointing. And just to go back to the lineup, like obviously Chacho was missing because of yellow card accumulation, but you could argue maybe he could have changed, made things a little bit different. But at the same time, the midfield here that they did like a pretty decent job outside of the giveaways, really. But yeah, like it's
well,
just disappointing. Like I'm absolutely upset.
it's very different with Achi in the middle. Like there, Achi's always got his head on a swivel when he's looking for the next pass. Coco, who kind of played that position today, he's always got his head down and he's dribbling at his feet and doesn't know his next pass. He has to look up and friggin' find it, and it's usually under pressure. So that's why you don't see Coco quick play. And when you see Achi with quick play, there was a few times that the Quinones was wide open or Stairs was wide open on the left side, and we just missed that play and didn't switch the ball because our head wasn't up. We're dribbling out of pressure instead of knowing where your teammates are at the same time. It's and other thing that I noticed during play, like when we're doing the tiki taka, it's tiki taka is a lot of one touching, a lot of two touching. Boys got to be ready, and you would find some of them flat footed, and so they weren't anticipating the play. They weren't anticipating the ball. Um, they were flat footed. So when a defender would interfere or touch or misdirect the ball, they were flat footed. So they weren't on their toes, ready to go win the ball back at the same time. And that was probably a big difference today that I noticed. For the majority of the games, like if you're just on your toes, you're always ready, especially when you're in the play. But getting flat footed, man, and just win the ball back. Some stupid fouls from behind. Like you're trying to win the ball back, but I'm going to foul you from behind. That's not winning the ball back. That's just letting them set up and get their attack ready to get on us. Like there was not a dangerous dangerous play to where like we needed to slow them down and stop them from pushing on us. Our defenders are in place. Everybody's marked. So the soccer IQ tonight was lower than usual. But like we said, it's not starting 11, the best Ben's bestie 11. It's God, it's probably Ben's. I don't know. I'll call that his high B team, maybe low A team. Yeah, I mean, just because all the as many changes that were made, like so. Like I said, like we went through the lineup. We're not going to complain about the changes that were made. Maybe too many of them were made at the same time. So uh, it's okay. The boys played okay for being on the road. Actually played better than what you can anticipate us playing on the road. We did have 9 shots. We did have an XG of a little over 1, and we scored our 1. A couple opportunities. Berdino missing his little touch in front of the goal after he subbed in for Liu. Dude, it's just It was just so frustrating. And then with that 1 minute to go, that dang corner kick, and 3 guys are defending and they defend the ball. But they get the Canadian luck of the friggin' flag, and it just falls right back to him, and he volleys it into the friggin' net. Nothing Steve could do, nothing nobody can do. Dorsey doing this little spin like he's trying to avoid the ball instead of standing there and taking it like a man. I don't think he was anywhere close. I mean, I don't think the trajectory would have hit him anyways, but he was turning like, come on, bro, like take that one to the face if you have to. I don't care, but I never saw the straight on goal behind the goal cam to see if it would have been close enough or if he just moved out of the way. And frustrating, bro. Frustrating. Stressful. We get the point. So
yeah. Like the point definitely works, but obviously nothing beats clinching a playoff spot right now just to get it over with. But yeah, like it's the other thing I was so frustrated about is, oh my goodness, that Quinones 1v1. I was like, man, that was the game right there. That was the game right there, and that chance in particular was the one that just like really like flipped my switch. Like I was just like ready to break my couch or something because it was so upsetting.
Dude, it was ridiculous, man. It was just ridiculous. The opportunities, the misses. I mean, Montreal had the same opportunities too, and could have easily won this game if they put their shots on target. No telling if Steve would have made them saves. But dude, just when you come in here, you're trying to clinch, and you could get 3 points. You expect more from your team, and it just hurts the way we play on the road, especially when you are trying to clinch for playoffs and playoffs are coming. What's it going to look like when we're on the road in the playoffs? It's a telltale. So I would like for us to go out and we got to beat Colorado home. Got to beat Colorado home. That's not going to be easy because they've been eliminated, so they have nothing to play for. So they can take all the chances and the risk in the world. And they've been a decent team defensively. They just can't score for. I mean, they've just been a decent team, but they're still pretty bad. But we'll see what they do tonight, and when they come into this game, how they're going to feel because they're doing the Texas double right now. Well, actually, I think they're doing the Texas triple because they just played Austin. Now they're playing Dallas, and then they get us 3 games in a row. So it's
is that legal? Like 3 road games at the same time, or
I think Colorado hosted Austin, and then came to Dallas. Yeah, and then came to Dallas, and then now they're coming to Houston. So, I mean, obviously it's legal. If the MLS schedule tells you to do it, you just get to stay in Texas.
Yeah. I think the exception is that if a team requests it, like for example, if they can play at their stadium or something like that, like before the schedule comes out, probably that. But yeah, like it's insane. Like all the situation with Colorado is right now, but it has to be it's a winnable game, like nothing less. Like nothing else matters. Like you have to win. You have to beat Colorado.
Have to beat Colorado, and then we have to go to Portland when you're playing for seeding, most likely. And Portland, ever since we beat them 5-0, they've been hot. They're 1 point below us in the standings now. and they still
No,
haven't
yeah, I
played it.
think I think they're like the hottest team in MLS right now because I don't think they haven't lost a game either, and our game was the game where they fired their previous head coach and
Right.
the interim just literally took over. Yeah.
Yeah. So they'll be coming in hot. They'll be hosting us. You know how we play on the road. So, man, we just we can still get a little help tonight in the later games, but we'll finish recording before that. But y'all will get to hear it when we transition over to the uh, Dynamo Colorado before we talk about that match. But man, this is just could be sleeping a lot easier tonight. Could be sleeping a lot easier.
Yep.
Son of a, and that's a long plane ride from Canada to back to Houston.
Yeah. I'm gonna be extra salty for the next few days through the until the weekend comes in and see what happens. But yeah, we need it for sure, and we'll just get back into the full review now.
Yeah, we'll still hold our H's up.
Yep. Alrighty, guys. So we're now gonna do the Colorado Rapids game review.
Again, and again.
Like
Yes.
that was a perfect game, except for the fact that we didn't get a clean sheet for the dumbest reason. But
Yeah.
other than that, it was a perfect game. Like it's like Nelson Quinones just destroyed Colorado almost the entire game. Like he had to be subbed out because he was just like too good. And
Too good. Too good.
like that first half, like it was just like it was entirely like just Houston, like as a whole. And of course, like Colorado is currently the worst team in the West, but at the same time, they've been putting a couple like interesting performances here and there. Like it's not really, they're not really consistent, but they're pretty much just like trying to play for pride at this point. And like they proven like in the second half they were able to like create some damage and obviously getting that goal back, but like the Dynamo were just like in it like almost the entire game, and it was one of
Well,
the very few complete performances this year.
so like when we ended our little Montreal segment just a second ago, we were like as we ended recording, we didn't know if we were going to be in the playoffs or not. And then as we mentioned in the open, we got some help from LAFC to clinch us in the playoff spot. Colorado's been eliminated, so it's now we're playing for home field advantage. So we're like, okay, he's got to play. He's got to play his best 11, especially since he just rotated. And Colorado's they got nothing to lose, so they're going to bring it, or they're going to attempt to bring it, is what we found out. And so it was the curiosity going up to the game was like how the boys going to approach it. Are they going to play for home field? Are they just going to kind of, now that they're in the playoffs, are they going to coast the rest of the season? And shoot, the lineup said we're putting our best 11 in, and then the whistle blew, and then the friggin' whistle blew.
Literally, like we scored in 3 minutes, and I feel like that definitely set up the how that game's gonna go down, or just the first half, because Quinones will score the first goal at the 3rd minute. Griffin Dorsey, what else can you say? He provides the assist, but like he's been insane all year. And Bassi scores in the 10th minute. It was more like a set piece from Corey Baird, but it was like an insane set piece.
What do you
Like
mean a
just
set piece?
just
It was that Bossy passed over the top to Baird, and then Baird slides it across to Bossy or not. Maybe it wasn't Bossy who gave it to Baird, but it was kind of the same way. Dorsey with his little cross into the box to give it to Quinones to finish, and then it was almost a repeat with the way. Well, maybe that was Baird's goal later. I mean, just so many freaking goals. They're all kind of intertwined into one, but you're both like kind of repeating the 3rd and 8th minute. And I'm sorry, were you sitting during the game, but the goals were right in front of my face, sitting in the supporter section.
well, yeah, it's definitely too good. It's definitely good to have that perspective, and yeah, it wasn't really like a set piece, but rather just like the sequence of passes that made it
Tiki
seem like a
taka.
set piece. Tiki taka. Yep, you said it right. And 10th goal of the year for Bassi. Obviously, most of them were penalties, but I mean, all that matters in this game is to put the ball in the back of the net, and he's got his 10th of the year. So it's good news for you because he already has more goals than Corey Baird. obviously for a while now. But oh well, that's unfortunate.
So the hot takes were very cold, weren't they?
for they were hot for a while,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
yeah. But obviously, Corey Bear will also get like a goal later on. But of course, Nelson Quinones gets his brace in this game. It kind of sucked he didn't get his hat trick later on, but like he just kept going and going and going. He was bound to get the hat trick, but like the way he has played this game, he was insane.
If he just could have hit that scissor, hit that one scissor, and he hit it over just barely over the friggin' post, and it was just
Yeah,
he just put too much on it. Like dang, we all saw the hat trick coming, but he didn't get it. He got the brace, so good for him. And and technically before he got taken out, he got the MLS second assist because he's the one who fed Bossy and Bossy fed Arthur. So Quinones, and then he made Team of the Week as well, along with Ashiachi on the bench for Team of the Week. So Quinones just having a stud of a friggin' game this against Colorado, and it's good to see because he is dangerous, and he tried to change his game up a little bit so he wasn't so predictable. He kept cutting in and using his right foot instead of trying to beat with his left foot where he stumbles over the friggin' ball every time. But he still showed that aspect of his game. So it was like the defenders are having trouble with him, and he's just causing all kinds of chaos out there. And we still got him for 4 more years.
and I mean, just to go back to that goal, Hector Herrera. What can you say about him? Like he's just been MVP of the team, obviously, but like for me, like I was just really shocked to like see the stat line I'm about to say because it's just crazy. It's been this long, and the fact that he got his 15th assist of the year as a defensive midfielder is insane already. But like a stat line that MLS posted a little bit after the game, they mentioned that with his first half assist tonight, Dynamo midfielder Hector Herrera became the second player in club history with at least 15 assists in a season, joining Brad Davis like back in 2011 when he had 16 assists. Obviously,
And Brad,
if you get close to Brad Davis in the stats, you're pretty good.
and Brad Davis's assists were a different type of assist too than Hector Herrera's were, bro. Like, but that's amazing. Probably probably more credit to Brad Davis with the way he's getting his assist in, but Hector just finding everybody and just being the creative master that we expected him to be when he came in from Atletico. So, dude, yeah, you said it. Team MVP, 15 assists. Not the MVP of the league, but he should be considered in the MVP talk. But that's our Ache right there.
So yeah, and then Corey Baird would have the 4-0 lead by halftime, like of the assist from Coco as well. And okay, what else can you say about Corey Baird? Goal and assist already.
Hey, he was people were talking about how he's kind of cold. He's kind of cold. Got cold and isn't really doing this and that. And then he comes into this game and he does get his assist and then he does get a goal. And I wasn't expecting that ball to go in from that angle and using your right foot and beating that keeper. I didn't expect Quinones' ball to go in when he took that shot and it beat the friggin' keeper because it wasn't that powerful. He just kind of eked it by him. So both those goals, I was like, what? Which caused even more celebration in the splash zone over there. Like that, it was friggin' fun. The first half, 4 goals right in front of the supporters section. Just lit it up over there, and we were having a great time in great weather as well.
Oh, that weather was beautiful. I don't know if you already took off your shirt at that point, but like in the press box at least, since we did have like a lot of movement, it was getting a little bit chilly. So like people were like taking out the sweaters and all that. But obviously with a lot of movement going on in the supporter section, it was a different story. I feel like.
It doesn't get chilly in the supporters section because
Yeah.
we're just we're too active. We're doing too much.
Yeah.
And at the start of the season, it was 3-0 shirts off, and then it just kind of that rule just kind of got blown up. And we've got a guy that just walks into the stadium with his shirt off. We got a guy that takes his shirt off when Baird scores. So no, I didn't take my shirt off because they kind of blew the rule up, and they're just now making up rules when they want to take their shirts off. So all we tag it is hashtag titties out. Come on, boys.
No, shout out to El Gordissimo. Yeah, he's
yeah. He's the one that likes those titties out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, and that was the first half, and the second half was like definitely a different story compared to the first half because Colorado were trying to get back into the game, and they were able to get a goal in the 53rd minute. I felt like that goal, I wouldn't say it was just like really bad defending, but rather just like a matter of luck, and also the fact that Cole Bassett, the player that scored for Colorado, like that was an insane finish, by the way.
Well, he
Just like
uses
the little back heel thing,
yeah,
like yeah,
yeah. He uses back heel, and then if you go back and listen to the replay with the announcer, he's like, "Oh, Dynamo were just kind of standing around on that play," and then Bassett does a friggin' back heel, and Steve can't do nothing about it. And I guarantee, I know Steve was pissed because that's two
yeah.
clean sheets in a row he could have had. Like just the late goal with Montreal, and then that goal with Colorado. He felt like that shouldn't have happened either. So just sad for Steve right there, and then before we actually came back into the second half at halftime, Clark was over there warming up with Tarble, and what the supporters do. The supporters sung "Happy Birthday" to Andrew Tarble, and
That's awesome.
you just saw the grin on his face, the big grin on his face. And Clark even, he looked at us and just gave us a hand, and it was just made Tarble feel really good. But then Clark, because he usually just ignores us, he just kind of he'll just give a little wave every now and then. But he's focused and staying into the game. But he even enjoyed that moment right there. And Andrew Tarble with a big ass grin, as wide as the stadium was. It was fucking awesome.
No, yeah, it was a great gesture, and obviously, like, I was definitely in the position where Steve Clark was at that point for the goal. Like, I would have definitely been upset as well, not only because of the fact that Colorado's trying to get back into the game, but the fact that it's another way. We conceded a clean sheet, which it's a like, and Steve Clark is like way up there among the league. He has like one of the best keepers in terms of clean sheets, and obviously credit to the back line. But yeah, it was Colorado were playing like a pretty high line, and I've noticed that right away because obviously they have nothing else to lose at this point. They have to get more goals in, and they were getting pretty close to that. And like Houston wouldn't score the fifth goal until the 84th minute, and like in the meantime, it was just like I was a little bit stressed. Like even though we were winning like 4-1, like I was like, okay, guys, don't let Colorado back in the game. Like they have nothing to play for, literally.
Yeah, and we were missing we still missed a couple opportunities there too that could have gone for us at the same time. So the onslaught could have continued in the second half, but like you said, it didn't until the 84th minute, and then someone who can't even score the entire season goes into back-to-back games and gets a friggin' goal on Archer. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
the
Yep.
unprecedented MVP of the team, the backbone of the team. Achi has been doing a lot. He's the team MVP, being the captain, and Arthur has to take a lot of credit, and he's probably you got to maybe he's probably the second man. He's got to be the second, and you can argue that he's probably the MVP of the team. He's just the backbone, something we haven't had right there in a long time, and it was just
Yeah.
he's done a great thing all season, just as much as he's played too. He doesn't miss a lot of time. Caicedo backing him up to where you can take Arthur out and put Caicedo in that position. Sometimes they work together during starts too. So, man, the team is working well together. The team is working well together.
No, yeah, Artur is a baller in his own way, and I think it's just crazy that he scores two bangers this late in the season and like back to back games, and yeah, that his goal against Colorado was insane, but obviously the Montreal goal was way better, but goal's
And
a goal.
and and at that moment when it happens, you're like, all right, Quinones is doing his drive, and then he lays it off for Bossy, and then Bossy he puts that little ball over, and you're like, who's that? That's Archer. That's
Yeah,
Archer. Like,
all
what
the
do
way
you?
up. Yeah,
Yeah, playing like a damn striker. I don't even know where our striker was. I don't even know where. I think Liu was in at that point. I was like, I don't even know where Liu was at that point.
yeah,
Like, somehow, I'm pretty sure it was a turnover we were countering, and Arthur was just up, and he just continued to go up. Like, wow, bro. Like, but hey, he did his little work. He flicked it over the keeper for another goal, and bow bow. So back to back games for Arthur, and the celebration's on. It's 5-1, and there's and shout out to the Colorado staff that showed up for the game, because a bunch of the Colorado staff flew down for the game, and I'm sure they wish they chose another game to go to, like one at home.
No, yeah, Houston will take the 5-1 win. I keep saying 5-0 because
Should have been.
I have the clean sheet in my mind, but it's not real. Like,
So
it
does Steve.
sucks. It sucks, but 3 points.
Yeah.
This win was big for our playoff seeding because we're still waiting for a couple. Well, pretty much just the RSL game at this point because they have like one game in hand, and they're going to be playing this week. But that one was big because we're staying in fourth place and through a decision day, which is going to be next week. So we're obviously going to keep an eye on that one because we're still playing for a high seed, and we can still go as high as probably still over third place. Second place might be a little bit difficult, but
not really.
Wait, so actually, will we tied when the wins is LAFC and goal differential?
Goal differential come into play. It's a plus. Yeah. It's a +4 right now for LAFC. But if we win and they lose, just obviously if we win, we're going to have a plus on ours, and if they lose, they're going to have a minus on theirs. So that could automatically, like, we win 2-0, that puts it at +2 for them. But if they lose 2-0, that's going to put it at back to even on goal differential, and then whatever's next, we conceded the fewest amount of goals, or whatever the next tiebreaker is. So yes, we're in fourth. RSL's got a game in hand, so technically we could be in fifth by the time decision day comes. But we're close enough to move to second, and we can only fall as far as sixth. So we're not in seventh, we're not in eighth, and we're not in ninth, and that's a guarantee. So the boys just need to go to Portland and show out. Portland got their butts kicked by Montreal in Montreal 4-1. So they didn't have a good game. So, but everybody's got, well, not everybody. There is a couple people that need to play like on Wednesday, but everybody's on international break. So everybody gets the whole 2 weeks off and plenty of time to prepare for that match. So Portland will be fresh. We are going to be fresh. Guarantee you, we're going to play our best 11 for that game too as well. We know how we play on the road though, but with our best 11 playing on the road, I feel a lot better about it going into Portland. And, and Portland is beatable, but that's kind of a tough place to play. It will be 4:00 in the afternoon for us, 2:00 in the afternoon over there. So maybe that becomes a factor because it's not a night game where they're used to. So who knows? It'll be fun. Interesting. Decision day will be interesting for sure.
Yeah, Portland's going to go obviously for the win here. They're going to do everything they can to get it, only because they haven't clinched a playoff spot yet. And they're still battling for spots between San Jose, FC Dallas, Sporting KC, and Minnesota United. So they're definitely going to go for that win just to secure a spot to the playoffs after the late surge, after we kind of just fired their head coach and the last game out. And
well, that was their first loss with the new guy too.
Yeah, and yeah, right. They've been in a pretty good run since then, but yeah, it's gonna be a tough place to play either way, regardless of the circumstances. Obviously, we're still a road team that needs to work on things as well, and of course, turf. What else can we say about that? But
and those teams that you named fighting for a playoff spot, whose name did you not mention right there fighting for a playoff spot that's been eliminated?
Oh yeah, of course. The teams that are eliminated. The first one being Austin. So
yeah. So good job winning Copa Tejas. Good job winning Copa Tejas, even though you lost to Dallas twice and Houston twice this year. But because those first 2 games didn't count, you won Copa Tejas. Good freaking job. Where are you at now? Sitting on the couch, eating your chips, watching us play in the playoffs. So good luck with that shit. I just wanted to rub that in. That's all the trolling I'm doing for the whole season. And hey, I am super surprised y'all are keeping Josh Wolf on for another season. But good for y'all. That's a good move.
Yeah. But yeah, we got all that to look forward to in a couple of weeks. Obviously, as OSG just said, we're currently on a bye week. We got a couple players in international duty. And
only Coco.
Oh, just Coco. Yeah, I keep forgetting Achachi didn't get called, but yeah, Coco did get the call here.
I
which
mean,
is
I think
expected.
Xavier Valdez is too, but obviously Xavier Valdez doesn't have any factor with the first team. But Coco's the only first team player with Achi, I guess, declining or pretending to be hurt or just saying, "Nah, bro, I'm not coming to y'all's camp."
Yeah, he's our big piece here, and we're one game away from playoffs, so we're gonna need him for
Yeah,
that campaign.
yeah.
But yeah, overall, extremely happy with Dynamo. But now let's get sad because we have to talk about Dash.
Mm. A catastrophe.
Yeah, it's it's a curse of the home finale for Dash again because they lose 2-1 to Angel City in stoppage time in the second half, and
Came into this game 3 points from a playoff spot. Winning this game puts us tied with sixth place. I think with Oil Rain, I think Oil Rain would have had the tiebreaker, but it would have put us tied going into decision friggin' day. So a lot on the line, a lot on the friggin' line going into this friggin' game, bro. It's just like and everybody was excited. They even opened up the upper bowl. Well, not the ends, but they opened up the upper bowl in the midfield, so there was a lot. There was a lot more people there, which was exciting to see. And the fans were behind the Dash the entire way, man.
no, yeah, I was mostly just upset with how the game turned out because the first half was pretty much just uh, the Dash. I would say like 2/3 of it was just a Dash giving possession and getting all the chances in, and Andres could have had a hat trick.
Hmm.
She did get a goal in, which I was happy about, especially with how she played and a couple of players as well. But the fact of the matter is, this is a game they had to win. Obviously, they're currently in this situation because of how the season turned out, and obviously Sarah Loudon is here and now trying to fix things in in a short span of time. But like for me, I was extremely upset because like the 80th minute comes or like really the 60th minute, and like they they keep letting Angel City just do their own thing, and defensively they were still like sound in a couple of ways, but they were just really showing their cracks at that point. And all they had to Angel City, all they had to do is just catch them off the break, and they got a few like opportunities in, and that's pretty much how they killed Dash. Like in the second half, they they also had to win this game. So because they're like
They were
at
in the
that
same
point,
position,
no, yeah, they
except
were. Yeah, they were in the same position, and they will
except for
essentially
one
just
point
leapfrog
low.
us and contend for a playoff spot with a win. And that's what they got here. And also, like I already said it, but like it's just insane, like how it's this is the second time that it happens. At least this time in a Dash game, like a, a game you have to win at home, and you look so good in the first half. Like throughout the second half, you try to keep things like consistent, but then you just like collapse at the last minute. Like it's just really sad to see because we've seen like the same lineup go out like in the last two games. They just dominated almost the entire game, and the one you have to win, this is when it happens, and it's really upsetting, honestly. And obviously for the players, it sucks because they've been working so hard to turn things around, and then now the playoff chances are essentially just over at this point because of what happened. But
Well, look, man, like you said, same lineup as last time, which nobody's can complain about the lineup. Or Ordonez was on the bench again. That's probably the only one that people might question. But Prince got to start with Alozi up top and Sanchez up top, of course. And then you had your typical midfield and your typical back line with Campbell in the goal. And like you said, the Dash needed a win. They knew it. They brought the game to Angel City, but at the same time, Angel City was just counterattacking us, and we weren't able to stop that counterattack. And even in the first 3 minutes of the game, they had three corner kicks back to back to back right off the bat to start the friggin' game because they counter, and then we would able to deflect it or stop it and it'd go out for a corner. And they took three back to back corners. Maria Sanchez clearing two of those, and so we kept them out. But Angel City was just diabolical with the way they countered us, and it affected the way the Dash were playing granted, they kept bringing the game back to Angel City and was taking those opportunities and taking those shots. Like you said, Alves, before she finally scored a goal right before half, she had two, I'll call them sitters, not exactly sitters, but I mean they were pretty dang close. And she even like can't believe that she missed them. Maria had an opportunity to put one in too that she missed, and they were that close. And us sitting in the press box, we had to remember to hold down our emotion whenever some of these things were going on at the same time. but
Yeah.
it was that kind of emotion, and it was hard. But the girls were playing just so well, and it was looking so good. And finally, in the 44th minute, Alves is able to find the net. Well, and such deserved and well deserved for her just coming to the team recently and not playing many games and still getting acclimated. I think this was only her second start, might have been her third start, and just she's doing a great job in the midfield and finally get that goal, take us up 1-0 in the first half. But for us that, watch the game and know the game, we know the second half is always a different story. Teams change their tactics, and, we're going to defend a little more, and the other team's going to push the envelope a little bit more because they're in the same situation where they want to qualify for playoffs and they cannot lose the game. And, like you said, it caught up to us and we got caught, and Jane made some excellent saves to keep us in the game again. But then there was that moment where we're pushing into the attack, and Jane she's kind of out. They play a ball through, and it's kind of a breakaway. But because Jane Campbell's out, she really can't come out any further to try to take on the defender. She's got to have to stand her ground, and the defender found the corner of the net and tied that game 1-1. And it's unfortunate because it was a friggin' counter, and they finally got the goal that they were looking for, and they were pushing because they had opportunities the whole game too. But they beat us on that one right there, and it was just a quick counter, bang, strike, 1-1, and then the last one, bro. Jesus Christ. I'm sitting next to you in the press box, and we're like, here it comes. We got to the 90th minute. But here it comes. Here it comes, like boom. And then the ball gets laid across the middle, and she just puts it right in. Like, so friggin' annoying.
Like
And
I
you
was
can,
cussing like a sailor in the press
yeah,
box.
dude,
But
yeah, dude. Like I could hear you, even though you weren't very loud about it. Like, and
yeah.
you can see how much it meant for Angel City and how much it meant for the Dash. Like the Angel City, the entire team celebrated, and then the Dash were just just drained and lost every bit of energy they had, and it just sucked and it suffered, and I hated seeing it. And like you said, the dreaded final home game of the season, kind of like last year with SKC in the playoffs. And we had, 18,000 people there. This time we had 9,100, almost 10,000 people show up to this final home game. So shout out to the people, if you're listening, that went to that game yesterday or even stayed at home and made sure they watched that game and gave you support for the Dash. It just sucks that that's the way it ended. Making it really hard to now get into the playoffs. We're not officially eliminated, but it's like Mission Impossible 7 because there's been 6 Mission Impossibles already.
No, like the thing for me about this game, you already mentioned it, but like we could have easily just put the game away, like with the chances we created. 27 shots. Are you
Bro,
kidding me?
27 shots in a bent upright. Maria friggin' belted the post at one time.
Yeah.
Jesus. 27 shots, 1 goal. What was the XG since you're looking at the stats? Like, man, they should have put it in the net, and they had opportunities to put it in the net. Some shots went straight to the friggin' keeper. You're like, we're sitting there watching. You're like, oh, here comes a good. What? Right to the keeper. God dang it! It was just sad. And even Sarah said that she looked. They were working on clinical finishes during practice this week, and it just didn't translate to the gameplay, which it's hard to translate. But I mean, they had their opportunities and should have put them in and put this game away and not let Angel City come back and do it. So it is what it is. We move. We travel to Orlando this weekend and play that game, and and maybe we could disrupt something or somehow sneak into the playoffs, which would be amazing. But I don't know. So would you find out?
Yeah, the NWSL website doesn't list the XG, but I would definitely guess it was probably like around 3 or 4 because it was just insane the amount of chances we created, and we could just put away for either just because of a matter of luck or something really because they were trying to get that goal, and I definitely appreciate the the hustle, but it was like, come on, y'all, just we gotta win this game, please put it away. But yeah,
Please, right, exactly. And
no,
man,
it yeah.
it's just it was just draining, and like and me and you were even talking there for a minute at the end, like at the end of the game, we were like, uh, Sarah Puntingham didn't have the best game of her career, and we were talking about maybe she should come out. You still had Brian Gary's uh, sitting on the bench over there, and that's somebody that you could have put in. It's offensive minded, has played left back before, plays that wing at the same time. So you're bringing in speed, you're bringing a little versatility. So you had to win the game. So I thought that was something they could have gone for. She did leave 2 subs. Did not use her last 2 subs. She only used 3 subs to try to change the game. So she left 2 off right there. She just didn't believe or make the move. But I thought that was one of the moves she could have made. Was just because Jacobs is used to playing left. So you put her left, Katie Lynn in the middle, Didasco on the right. I know Didasco's playing up a lot, but hey, that's the risk we needed to take. We could have controlled that game better and stopped Angel City from counterattacking. But Didasco's so good at defense, she would have done her job, and Gary's just got the speed to make it up. So that's one move that we were talking about we could have made there at the end of the game to try to steal a goal back and make it 2-1 us. But didn't happen. So Joella Anderson came in. She had a couple of good shots, a couple of good opportunities, just couldn't finish. So Sarah did everything she could. So you praise to her, and she did a great job. And I'm still on the Sarah Loudon in boat, but we got one more game left to see what she can do, and then give her the interview.
Well, yep, and we still gotta win this one, regardless of how we look in the playoffs and how bleak our chances look. We gotta win it. So
Yeah.
Here's to the dash, closing out the season strong, and yeah, I'm still upset about this game, honestly.
Yeah, sorry guys. That's I guess we got to end the episode in depression again, but I guess that's the way it's been falling for us lately on these Hustle Time reviews. Friggin' with Dose losing last or playing last and ended up losing more than winning, and now Dash with the Sunday game losing. But it's okay, man. It's okay. It's okay. We still support our teams no matter what, through thick and thin. We're orange forever. Our blood is orange. We got still one more game. We'll support her for one more game. We'll see what happens. And, still got Dynamo to move. So still got something to create. And then, you still got your Astros playing playoff baseball. So H-Town's still strong, still alive. The Texans are playing. They're playing better than people thought. So there's still a lot going on for H-Town. Just soccer might be coming down to an end, and we'll have to resort back to our Premier League teams or our La Liga teams if you're one of those. So it's just sad. Yeah, sorry, guys. Sorry, Webb.
No, I mean you said it, but still, it's just part of how we support our teams. Like there's gonna be down times, good times, of course, but we're always supporting our teams no matter what. But yeah, guys, as always, thank you so much for tuning in, and stay noodle.
H is up.